They sealed his name in stone, because even speaking it could wake him. Thunder never struck that mountain. It circled it, avoided it, as if the sky itself remembered what lay beneath. 5 centuries ago, the heavens trembled, not from war, not from rebellion, but from something far more dangerous, a mind that refused limits. His name was Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. But names, like chains, were things he had long since learned to break. The story begins not with his birth, but with the moment the world realized it had made a mistake. Deep within the archives of heaven, where forbidden scrolls whispered secrets to those who dared listen, a celestial scribe once uncovered a record that should not have existed. A blank page. No origin, no author. Only a single line burned into its surface. Stone learned to breathe. He was not born of flesh. He was carved by time itself, shaped from a mountain rock that drank centuries of sunlight and moonlight until it cracked open and blinked. At first, he was nothing more than instinct, curiosity, hunger. But curiosity is a dangerous seed. And Wukong did not simply live. He questioned. Why do creatures die? Why do gods rule? Why must anything obey? The other monkeys called him king because he dared to leap where others feared falling. But kingship was never enough. It never is for those who glimpse the edges of reality. So he left. Not in search of power, but in search of truth. He crossed oceans that swallowed ships whole. He climbed mountains that whispered madness. And in the deepest shadows of the world, he found something older than heaven itself. A master who did not speak his name. A teacher who did not belong to the order of gods. Some say the master was once divine. Others say he was something that even the gods feared. But one thing is certain. He taught Wukong what should never be taught.
Immortality. Not granted, not gifted, stolen. 72 transformations. The art of becoming anything, and therefore becoming nothing. The ability to tear his soul from the cycle of life and death and refuse its return. Each lesson came with a warning. Each warning was ignored. Because Wukong did not seek balance, he sought control. And when he returned to the world, he was no longer a king. He was a contradiction. A creature that could not die, yet refused to live quietly. The Dragon Kings felt it first. Their oceans trembled as he descended into their palaces, not as a thief, but as something worse, a being who believed he deserved what they possessed. He walked among ancient weapons forged for gods, and chose the one that did not want to be chosen. The Ruyi Jingu Bong, a staff that could crush mountains or shrink to a whisper. It resisted. It tested him. And then it obeyed. That was the moment heaven began to watch. Not with curiosity, but with fear. Fear grew into action. Action grew into war. They offered him a place among them, a title, a cage made of silk and gold, great sage equal to heaven. A lie so elegant it almost worked. But Wukong had already tasted something greater than power. He had tasted defiance. So he laughed, and heaven burned.
Armies fell like rain. Generals broke beneath his staff. Stars dimmed as if unwilling to witness what unfolded. This was no longer rebellion. This was something far more unsettling. A single being proving that the divine was not untouchable. But even chaos has limits. Even power meets something it cannot break. When the Buddha descended, the world did not tremble. It stilled. because this was not a god of war. This was a force of understanding. And understanding is far more dangerous. Wukong struck first. He always did. The staff stretched across the heavens, shattering clouds, splitting light itself. But the Buddha did not move. He simply raised his hand. A simple gesture. A quiet challenge. "Leap," he said. "Escape my palm, and the heavens are yours." Wukong laughed. Of course he did. Because there had never been a cage he could not escape. He leapt beyond the sky, beyond the stars, to the very edge of existence itself. There, he carved his mark into reality, proof of victory, proof of freedom. And when he returned, he saw it. The mark, still etched on the Buddha's palm. For the first time, the Monkey King did not laugh. The mountain fell upon him soon after, not as punishment, but as containment. A seal not just on his body, but on his knowing. Because what terrified heaven was never his strength, nor his immortality, nor his defiance. It was this. Wukong had seen the edges of reality and realized something no god dared admit. The rules were not absolute. They were written, and anything written can be rewritten. Even now, beneath that silent mountain, he waits, not sleeping, not broken, but thinking, learning, becoming, because stone once learned to breathe, and what learns, eventually, remembers.